Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day so far. So yesterday I posted here on YouTube asking you guys what type of video you wanted to see on my channel, and so many of you said that you wanted to see more money saving tips. This is the video that I wanted to film today, but I didn't know if you guys were getting sick of hearing about money saving ideas, but you guys are just like me, you love learning different ways to save money. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 15 money saving tips that you can try today. And before I start sharing the money saving tips with you guys, I just want to mention the obvious that I got my hair done the other day. It is so much more blonde and I love it. I just feel my best when my hair is blonde. I feel like it just matches my personality and it makes me feel more myself. So I really hope you guys like it, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up before we jump into the video. Money saving tip number one that I have to share with you guys is to take an emergency pack in the car with you. So the purpose of this emergency pack is so that you have most things with you that you would need in an emergency so that you don't have to stop anywhere and spend extra money. So things that you would put in this pack would be granola bars, bottles of water, Band-Aids, Tylenol, Advil, things that you might need when you're out on the road that you don't want to have to stop and buy that you probably have at home. So it's best to take these things with you on the road so that if you're ever in a sticky situation where you need something, you already have it with you and you don't have to spend the money when you're out. Money saving tip number two is to watch extreme grocery budget challenges on YouTube. These are my guilty pleasure. I love sitting down in the nighttime and just binge watching extreme grocery budget challenges. I'll leave a few linked down below in the description so you guys can check them out. But if you've never seen them before, basically they're types of videos that YouTubers make here on YouTube where they have a really strict grocery budget and then they go to the store, see how much they can buy on that budget, and then they also experiment with different really cheap meal ideas. So they might have a grocery budget of $10 for the week, say, and they go to the grocery store and they buy things like rice, beans, bananas, maybe some garlic powder, and they come up with these really interesting meal ideas that you can make on almost no money at all. So it's a really great way to help you come up with cheap meal ideas for the week ahead and also just inspire you to save money when you're grocery shopping. So I'm sure you guys know the feeling when you're sitting at home on a Saturday and you're thinking to yourself, what am I gonna do today? I'm so bored. I could go to a restaurant and spend money, I could walk around the mall and spend money, and most things that you typically come up with to do on the weekend involve spending money. So that's why tip number three that I have for you is to create a list of free things that you can do that you're interested in. So then when you're bored on the weekend, you can refer back to this list and see a bunch of different ideas of free things that you can do. You could even post this list on your fridge so that you have easy access, and you can watch videos on YouTube or look up ideas on Pinterest for free things to do on the weekend so that you can save money. Tip number four is to keep a little file folder somewhere in your house where you can keep all of your receipts. And I'll tell you why this is important for saving money. Have you ever bought something and then you throw out the receipt and then a few days later it breaks or you're not happy with it and then you're like, shoot, I threw out the receipt, I can't even bring it back. So having this file folder gives you a place to store all of your receipts, keep you more organized, and then if you ever need to return or exchange something, you're always able to do it. Speaking of returning things to get your money back, money saving tip number five is to set a reminder on your phone to return something before the return period ends. There's nothing more frustrating than when you have every intention of returning something to get your money back and then you put it off and you wait too long and then the return period is over and you can't get your money back. So set a reminder on your phone so that you always remember to return something, and you can also use this method to remind yourself to cancel free trials. There is nothing I hate more than forgetting to cancel a free trial and then my credit card is charged for something that I wasn't even gonna use. Tip number six is really helpful and it's gonna save you a lot of money if you can learn how to make your own bread. So I'll leave some recipe ideas down below in the description box, but bread is often the base of a lot of meals. And if you can make it yourself, you're saving so much money. You can use your homemade bread for toast in the morning for breakfast, you can make sandwiches for lunch, and then for dinner you could make garlic bread on the side, or you could have your bread with homemade soup. There's lots of ways that you can incorporate homemade bread into meals, and it's a really cheap way to feed yourself. Tip number seven is to stop automatically grabbing a cart or a basket when you go into the store and you only need a couple things. When you have a cart, you're giving yourself permission to fill that cart and spend way more money than you need to. So when I go into the store and I only need one or two items, I never grab a cart or a basket. I just grab whatever I can with my hands, and that's all I'm allowed to buy. Tip number 8 is more of a money mindset tip, but I think it's a really powerful way to save money. So start thinking about the things that you want to buy in terms terms of hours worked. So find out how much money you make hourly and then think about how many hours you have to work in order to buy a certain item. So for example, if you get paid $10 an hour at work and you want to buy something that's $50, that's 5 hours of work that you have to trade for that item. So if somebody presents you with something and they're like, yeah, if you want this, you have to work for 5 hours. If you wouldn't do that, then you probably shouldn't buy the item. Tip number 9 is very simple, but it's gonna save you a lot of money on food, and that's to buy frozen fruits and vegetables, especially when they're on sale. The great thing about frozen food is that it's frozen and you can keep it for as long as you need to. So if you stock up on frozen items that are on sale, you can put it in your freezer for weeks and months and then just use it as you need to. I'm sure you guys have heard the common misconception that frozen fruits and veggies aren't as good as the fresh ones, but this is a myth because fruits and veggies are picked and then frozen when they're at their peak nutritional value, and then when you freeze them, they retain that nutrition. So buying frozen is just as good as buying fresh. The next money-saving tip that I have for you is to use a drying rack to air dry your clothes. It's gonna be so much cheaper if you air dry your clothes because dryers are actually the appliance that use the most energy and cost you the most money. And if you guys didn't already know this, tumble dryers are actually really hard on your clothes, so when you air dry your clothes, you're prolonging the life and making them last longer. Tip number 11 is to repurpose leftovers. I know not everyone likes to eat leftovers and not everyone likes to eat the same thing multiple nights in a row, but if you repurpose leftovers, you can still eat this leftover food without wasting it, and you can make a new meal at the same time. So an example of this is I really like to make a big batch of chili that I can freeze and then use in multiple ways. So I'll have chili one night with tortilla chips, cheese, and sour cream, and then the next night I'll make some homemade French fries, put the chili on top with some cheese, and then I have chili cheese fries, so it feels like I'm eating a whole new meal with my leftovers. Money-saving tip number 12 is to get into the habit of checking your receipts and bank account every day so that you can catch mistakes and also identify spending patterns. It's really important when you're trying to save money and you're trying to get a hold of your finances that you know what's going on inside your bank account. So when you're looking at your bank statement and you're seeing a charge for Starbucks every single day, this tells you that this might be an area for improvement and a pattern that you need to change. And like I said, it's really important to look at your bank account every day so that you can catch mistakes. There might be fees that are coming out of your account unnecessarily, and if you're not looking at your bank account often, you won't catch these mistakes and you won't be able to get your money back. Let's just take a quick little pause. I just want to say that if you're still watching at this portion of the video, leave me a comment down below and say I love saving money, because this has been a long video with a lot of tips, but I want to know who's really dedicated and who will last this whole video. I'm sure you guys have heard this next saving tip before, but it's really important, so I'm gonna say it again, and that's to limit the subscription services that you're paying for every month. There are so many different subscription services out there now, and they can really add up, so pick just one or two that you really love that you want to keep paying for and just discard all the rest. If you guys didn't already know this about me, I love the dollar store. I could spend so many hours just walking around the aisles and seeing what kind of cool things that they have, and that's why my next money saving tip for you is to utilize the dollar store as much as you can for things like greeting cards, chocolate, candy, cleaning supplies. I do want to say that you have to be careful because sometimes things at the dollar store can actually be more expensive than other places. So there are things that I will go to Walmart for or my local discount grocery store to get instead of going to the dollar store. So you do have to be careful with that. You have to compare prices, but there are definitely a lot of things that you can save money on by buying at the dollar store. And money saving tip number 15 is probably the easiest one on this list, and that is to avoid stores. If I have a list of just a few things that I need to buy, I'll send Aaron to the store because I know he's only gonna buy what's on the list. If I go to the store myself, I'm probably gonna find extra things that I don't really need, but I end up buying anyway. So I don't trust myself in the store, and that's why I send Aaron most times. It's really important when you're trying to save money to just avoid the stores. Don't walk around the mall. Do your grocery shopping online instead of actually going to the store to limit impulse purchases. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. That is 15 money-saving life-saving tips that you guys can try today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also hit the red subscribe button to join our YouTube family. Down below in the description box, I have some other videos that you might like, as well as my Instagram page and my Etsy shop, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!